Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have something very special. We're going to be reacting to an old fiberglass decking video and see how those old techniques stand up to today's standards. Stick around till the end to see if these old techniques have stood the test of time or if we have moved on to better ways. Let's get started.
Sun decks can be a real problem if there's a lot of wear and tear on the surface, especially if there's an animal like a large dog chewing a bone will take the surface element right off the sun deck. Now in this particular case, the homeowner's got a beautiful backyard deck. They put a canopy over top in order to increase their living space, but now they want to put a surface here that's going to be durable, that's going to take that wear and tear. As you can see over here, there's an actual damage point already that the dog has chewed off and they've tried to repair it. Well, in order to put a surface on here that's going to last, let's talk to the professionals. And with me, folks, to talk about sun decks, I have Lee Hicks, and he's from the Coast Fibertech Products Company. How are you doing, Lee?
Great, thanks, Joe.
Now, here you've selected fiberglass. Why?
Well, fiberglass is the deck coating that's been around the longest, and it's the toughest deck coating you can possibly put on there.
And I guess you can use it anywhere in the world, actually.
You can use it anywhere in the world.
Okay, so we can see that even back then, fiberglass was the go-to material for deck coatings. It's known for its longevity and durability, which is why it's still popular today. Let's dig deeper.
What about do-it-yourselfers?
Do-it-yourselfers can do the decks themselves, but I would recommend that they get good professional advice before undertaking their project.
We're tearing the old railings off here because the homeowners decided to put on new aluminum railings.
Well, that will certainly make the application of the fiberglass a lot easier, Shell.
That's true. If you decide to get new railings, the application of fiberglass is going to be way easier and a lot better. Let's go back to this.
Lee, I see they're tearing off the old metal drip cap around the edge.
That's right, Shell, and they'll be replacing that with a wooden drip edge after they've installed the new layer of plywood.
Well, here.
So that's interesting. Back then, they used to use metal drip edges before they started introducing wooden drip edges around the perimeter of the deck. Now, right, we use PVC drip edges instead of the wooden drip edges that are replacing the metal drip edges that they used to use. Let's get back to it.
Here comes the plywood, Lee, and I see they're using a sheathing grade of plywood.
The professionals like to use a sheathing grade because they've got a better bond with the fiberglass to it.
Down goes the construction adhesive. Now, you've got professionals here, and I understand that you belong to an association.
That's correct. We have developed association with the member contractors and the suppliers to ensure that we install high quality and high workmanship on all the fiberglass decks over living quarters.
Okay, quick word on the install there. It seems that they're talking about sheathing grade plywood. That's considered that CDX plywood that you put as sheathing. Right now, we've changed that. We use AC plywood. They talked about the better bond, and that's still true today. But the AC plywood has a higher strength variant than the CDX plywood. So it bends a little less. It's sturdier as well. And it's less porous. So we're able to really saturate that plywood with the resin to get that to stick along with the fiberglass mat that goes on top of it. Let's go back.
Okay, Lee, what's happening now?
Well, Shell, they're mixing the filler and they're going to fill up all the cracks, joints, and defects in the plywood. That's used as a space taker to hold the resin up in the material until such time as it cures.
So that's the open knots and also the seams in the plywood.
I wish I could have said that exactly like he said it.
Now, Shell, we're going to roll out the glass matting onto the deck here. It comes in two widths, either 38 inch or 50 inch. They're going to roll it out, overlap the feathered edge, and then cut it off to size.
Usually we start on the edges, right? To give ourselves the opportunity to make sure that we can install everything down on the face, on the transition, and on the field of the deck correctly. I also noticed that they didn't take away any of the siding going up along the wall. We now know that that is a crucial error because sometimes the water starts going back into the home and you get water infiltration. So although the field of the deck is completely waterproof, that waterproof isn't extended to the connection of the home and the deck. That's why now we make sure to run up that fiberglass up the wall. So yeah, two quick things that are different now right off the bat is we start off with the edges first with 12-inch fiberglass mat, and also we fiberglass up the walls. And also, I don't know if they're going to do a door pan, but we will put a door pan as well.
Well, Lee, the fiberglass matting's all cut to size now. What's next?
Okay, next Shell is they're going to take their polyester resin, add a catalyst.
You still use
to it,
polyester
mix it
resin
up, and then
and
they're going
catalyst?
to saturate
Exactly.
this fiberglass mat with that resin.
And
Okay.
that's going to bite to the plywood
That will
below.
bond,
Usually
and
we
that will
use
cure
2
as one
people,
unit with the
right?
plywood.
And we use 5-gallon buckets to do this, but I see that they're just using a 1-gallon bucket,
the
throwing
two
it straight on
rollers?
the.
The second roller
Straight
is
on
to
it,
roll any
okay.
air bubbles out that are trapped underneath.
Let's
and
pause
float the
that.
resin.
Okay, so that's an interesting method. Usually we use 5-gallon buckets, and we put a roller in, roll out, right? We soak that resin into the plywood and the fiberglass, but I see this gentleman decided to go with the 1-gallon route, take the roller in his hand, throw the resin on, and saturate it that way. We've seen that before, but we like to use the 5-gallon method to ensure even coverage and control as well. Also, it keeps your boots a little cleaner, you know, just saying. That's a good looking roller. I bet they don't make rollers like that anymore, but the rolling process is still the same. Hasn't changed then, still the same now.
And up to give you a good waterproof membrane.
Now they're sanding. Is that for purposes of keying the next coat?
They're going to give it a scuff sanding now that the membrane is cured to remove any kind of little burrs that are sticking up.
The way
and
that
provide
guy
a
is
good
sanding
keying
that
for the
deck,
following coat.
I'll tell you now, our insurance company would have a field day if they saw us doing this. Probably not, but it's definitely not the best way that we've seen to get a good sanding for the final coat. This does remove those top hairs that do stick up, but we really want to make sure we get a smooth surface so we can apply that gel coat nicely, evenly. Otherwise, you're going to see the texture of the fiberglass peek up through the gel coat, and it doesn't look very good.
Now, this is the time that the color comes. This is the top coat, I assume.
Well, this is one of the top coats, Shell. The first one is a seal coat of half and half of top coat in the resin, just to ensure that everything is sealed right up top. This will be followed in a couple hours by the final coat.
Lee, that deck looks super.
Now, not only does it look super, Shell, this deck is very, very durable, it's low maintenance, and totally waterproof.
Now, can I put this over a living space?
This is an excellent system for going over living areas.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming out and giving us a whole rundown of fiberglass and for certainly making this deck look a lot better.
Well, thanks very much for having us, Shell.
Boy, I'll tell you, those pro-built railings sure trim everything off around here, and he can have all the fun he wants. Now, why don't you check out fiberglass for your deck?
Yeah, I think we should listen to Shell. You should check out fiberglass for your deck. But all in all of the same techniques that we use are still there, refined now, right? But we can see that fiberglass then was the go-to, and fiberglass now is still the go-to for longevity and durability. It's truly amazing to see how some of these methods continued. They did not evolve because they just worked so well. It's also very nice how some other methods evolved. If you enjoyed this video and want more insights on deck waterproofing and tutorials, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and happy decking.